Hey guys, what is up? My name is Dave and welcome to the next episode of Iron Completionist. Starting this one off with some Onyx bolts from Corp. So as you can see, I actually did pass 350 KC. Obviously this week Raids 2 comes out. So I think what I'm going to do until Raids 2 is just finish up the Zulrah and Vorkath that I've been, kind of on and off doing for the past little while. And just keep poking at Corp. So I guess let's just get right back into it. Just picking myself up a pair of flippers, and this seems probably extremely... Ooh, whoops, not that. This probably seems extremely fucking random, but I'm actually doing this because one of the things on Fossil Island, which is the underwater agility thieving thing, was actually recently changed so that you get more seaweed spores, or not more seaweed spores. Seaweed spores are cheaper, so you can get more of them per hour. So I'm actually going to test out and see how that is for crafting XP, and if it goes well, then there'll have been a video on it probably before this one even goes live. Alright, got another elite clue coming in from Zulrah, and this one's giving us, wow, that is, what part of this is an elite clue? Alright, moving on. Alright, this is exactly what I wanted. One more unique before Raids 2. I feel the need to point this out as well. I'm going to get 2,000 KC, I'll show you guys a clip when I get there. But I'm almost at 2,000 KC here, and I've actually never had an Onyx, which isn't bad. That's honestly the best thing to go dry on. But I'm sitting here imagining what it must feel like to go 2,000 KC. Well, I guess I kind of know based on my experience at other bosses. But, like, going 2,000 KC without a drop here, like, without the Tanzanite Fang, for example, would be just fucking atrocious. Although, out of all the bosses, it's probably the best to go dry on, but still. And also, what the fuck? This thing is almost 5 mil! What the hell? 5 mil for a blowpipe! Alright, that is flat 2,000 KC done at Zulrah, so I'm gonna hop over the bank real quick, show you guys my scale stack. This is, especially with that unique, I think where I'm gonna end up chilling for a little bit before Raids 2 comes out. I should have a decent stack of scales, and on top of that, I'm kind of happy I got that unique because I was about 450 to 500 dry or something from my last one, so that's very nice to have. I know that, like, I don't really care about going dry at Zulrah because it just doesn't really matter. But we have a decent amount of scales. Once I fill my blowpipe, this will probably be like 110k surplus scales. I already have the Serp Helm full, so I should be good for a little while, even if I'm using the Serp Helm and the blowpipe in full at Raids 2. So now we're going to do about 100 more Vork kills, finish that up, and then just dick around until Raids 2 comes out. So after that Zulrah grind, I decided it'd be a good idea to actually make some Rings of Recoil. I have a lot of like little prep work I have to do, like Rings of Recoil, which is this is a big one. Some things along the lines of Herblore and whatnot before Raids 2. I decided to do this because, one, I was almost out anyway, and two, I feel like on day of release, using a Ring of Suffering is probably just a good option. It's good defensive, and the recoil is pretty helpful. So, admittedly, now that they changed the way the Tower of Life works, it's a lot nicer to do this, but it still sucks. Just got myself some red spider eggs because I really need to make super stores. Unfortunately, I'm really low on them. Like, I think that I only have like 1,000 snapdragons in the bank, which I'm sure to some Iron Men is probably like, holy shit, that's crazy. But for me, that's like not a lot, considering I only have 100 in my potions tab right now, so this is like the lowest I've ever been on super restores. However, prayer potions I will never have an issue with, because I still have like 600 prayer potions in here, and then I have 1,000 Renar weeds right here, 143 Renar seeds, and I still have 1,800 unfinished Renar potions down here. So I'm pretty much set on prayer potions forever. Unfortunately, snapdragons are not as common though. Alright kids, never do Herblore at 1 in the morning. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like a little frustrating. A little bit frustrating. I don't really care about the Herblore XP I'm going to get from these if I were to make them into Zami brews. I just feel really stupid for doing that. But whatever, I still have plenty of anti-venoms, which I won't really be using at Raids 2. And I have plenty of super combats because I have... Oh, no, not there. That's not where I want to go. I have plenty of super combats that I can't. And still 31 torso seeds. I just feel really fucking dumb for doing that. I'm just gonna drop that over to my main though, because I'm not gonna go fucking pick up Jangerberries. Just, oh my god, that was fucking stupid. At least it was only 700, right? Yes, I just went to bed after that because I was kind of angry at my dumb mistake. But at least we can kind of rectify it. With this 95 Herblore coming in, we don't get anything there. I think the only other unlock that's remaining is at 98, which is for the super anti-fire, or extended super anti-fire potions. But, it's another Herblore level. It's nice. seeing the end of this grind pretty soon. I mean, I have tons of stuff I could actually make if I grew all these seeds and gathered all the secondaries. But like I said before, I'm doing Herblore pretty passively. The only reason I'm doing this right now is just to stock up on potions for raids too. So, not too worried. It's just, you know, could have had 700 more super combats, but whatever. Alright, so we got an elite clue from Vork. I got about 90 kills left to do there. Let's see what we get. And, you know what? That's actually good. I got a U-Seed. I'll take it. Alright, and there we go. That is 1,300 KC at Vork. And I think with that, I do have about 3,000 bolts in the bank that I'm going to make. Mostly, also, the Ultra meme. I'm going to make into primarily Dragon Diamond bolts. Gonna, honestly, every time I come back to Vork, until I have a T-bow and I'm just grinding Vork out, I'm going to have a use for those Dragon Bolts at other places. So I'm going to just keep using these Ruby Bolts here. And no, I'm not implying that I'm going to use the T-bow on Vork to people who are going to ask that in the comments. I'm just saying, until then, I have a lot of other use for those Dragon Bolts, so I don't want to just waste them breaking even at Vork. I might as well continue to build up a decent stockpile of them. So I still have a couple more things I have to do. I have to finish making those potions, first of all. I've been doing a lot of farm runs just for herbs recently, and I have to make all of these darts that I've had sitting in my bank for a long time. I just have been like making a couple here and there. But I have about like 14,000 rune darts that I can make, so I'm going to do that just to make sure that I have an ample size for when the release of Raids 2 happens. Alright, so pulling ourselves an Arcane Prayer Scroll. Not bad. It's a pretty meh item. But, you know, an item's an item. It's a duo, so it's all good. Completely unnecessary, but kind of just got in the zone of doing Herblore for a little bit and just needed to mellow out for an afternoon. And there we go, got to 96 as well. I'm pretty sure that would have been a low for overloads in RS3, but, you know, that's not a thing in old school. But still, 96. Nice. So I'm going to go to cancel my potions after this inventory, and we'll see what we have. Alright, there we go. And looking pretty damn good in the potions department for now. I can definitely make a few more super combats. You know, the loss of those Torstals is kind of annoying, but I can definitely make a few more super combats. Not as many restores as I would like to have, but 1,000 restores or 900 restores should be good for a while. Like I said, prayer potions, pretty much infinite. I still haven't actually cleaned any of these or grown any of these, so definitely fine there, and range pots and everything else should be fine for more than enough time as well. Pretty much infinite brews now, too, so that's pretty nice. The only things I'm worried about are pretty much actually just restores is the only, like, limiting factor there. Anxiously awaiting Raids 2. Decided I would go do this Kraken task. Gotta try another seas. Weirdly enough, this is not the drop that I want here. I went and looked at my comp list, and I realized I only had 3 tentacles so far towards the imbued trident. So, a while ago I mentioned I would never extend this task, but now that I don't have that many big tasks left for Slayer, I think I might actually go ahead and extend it now. And Jesus, dude, I've never had this many sharks in a trip before. I haven't left yet since I started the task. I actually managed to complete the entire Kraken task in one inventory. It's kind of cool. So here's something that probably seems a little random, again. I'm at Bandos. Why am I at Bandos? Because I only have 2 items left from God Wars, and one of them is technically something I already have, which is Bandos Boots, but I need a second pair of them for Guardian Boots, which could be pretty useful in Raids 2, potentially, and I just need to kill time until Raids 2 anyway, so why do Corp right now when I could do Bandos? I mean, better chance of getting the boots than there is of getting a sigil anyway, so I don't know. I mean, we have to come back here at some point, but I passed 900 KC, so that's kind of why I made this clip. Well, pretty big achievement in my opinion. 500 Chambers of Xeric KC now. I don't know if I should even keep calling this Raids or Raids 1 now. I don't know. I guess we'll see what it naturally starts becoming called. But 500 KC now. We're doing really well in terms of uniques. I am on a bit of a dry streak right now. I can't remember when my last item was, but I think we're still right about on rate for the number of items we should have, so no complaints there. Hopefully my last 2 items don't end up being the T-bow and the Elder Maul, because both those items are useful in raids, and it would really suck to have the 2, like, very, very useful items in this situation be the last 2 I get, but I guess we'll see when that happens. Alright, well, that is a taste of hope done. This quest was much easier than I thought it would be. I thought it'd actually be a little difficult at the end, but that is nice to have done. I guess I'll just put this into Herblore. So, I think I am now officially ready to go, so I'm just going to go ahead and get prepped. No, not mining Herblore. And just get prepped and wait there for the update. Alright, so we're still fiddling around with the gear setup. It's day 1. We have been doing this for 6-7 hours now. No one has beat this yet, and needless to say,
we are at a huge disadvantage. Even the people who were QA testing in the first round of QA testing haven't beaten yet, which is obviously an insane advantage for them. We've gotten to the 4th boss so far. I'm going to maybe put in some clips for my stream if I remember, so I'll probably go back and put some of those in there and commentate over them and what's happening a little bit to give you guys an idea of what's going on. I'm sure you've seen it from tons of other people's videos already. We're going to try again tomorrow. We had one person started getting a migraine, so he left and we couldn't find anyone to replace him, which sucks, but hopefully once people are back from vacations and back to original, teams and whatnot, we'll be able to keep doing more. So the setup has changed a little bit. Not by that much, though, and I'll probably keep fiddling with it as we get further on, but so far so good. This is actually an insanely fun update, too. Let me just say that.
Alright, so my overall thoughts on Raids 2. It's actually really fun. I really like the fact that it's difficult and that it's not such a, easy, straightforward thing. Now, upon me making this video and editing this video, I think there have been around 10 to 15 completions or something like that, and 2 items brought into the game, one of which was actually by Kurt, which is awesome, and the team he was with. So, good for him. Grats to him. Unfortunately, though, our team, I mentioned this later on, but our team, we just couldn't actually find people was the main difficulty because the people that we normally raid with were in teams already and already, decided to go with other people instead of go with us. We kind of struggled on the first day to find people, so we didn't really have people we were normally accustomed to going with besides me and Azir. The first boss, we ended up getting down pretty consistently. I'm obviously not showing you guys the best clips of us killing every single one of these things. First boss, we ended up getting down pretty consistently. And the second one wasn't really too much of an issue either. Those first 2 were not bad at all. Where we really hit a brick wall was actually the 3rd boss, because the 3rd boss spawns tons of spiders in there, and a lot of people are calling them crabs, but it spawns tons of spiders in there, and it was kind of just hard for us to keep up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, overall, the entire experience was actually really fun, really enjoyable, and I love doing content on release. What I'm really excited for mainly is to see people actually figuring out the metas a little bit better, because as of right now, everyone's just using twisted bows, and if someone doesn't have a twisted bow, that really fucking sucks. But it does seem like the last boss is weak to slash, so hopefully now that Ltsuko is actually back from his vacation, we can actually, get our group of people together again and actually start beasting some of this stuff out. So that's what I'm mainly hoping for. We did get to the 4th boss, as you can see right here, and I actually got chosen. I had never watched anyone do this, even though a few teams had already made it to this point. Or I think the only team that we saw get to this point was actually Bodhi's team. Because we actually didn't take too long to get here. It was like 3 hours to get to this boss for us. Not in one run, obviously. But apparently I was the last one alive here, so what actually happened is I didn't realize that I had to run the same path because I was the last one alive. I'm supposed to spawn on the other side. They're supposed to have already ran across. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a struggle. But overall, it was fun, so I'm going to go ahead and outro the video, and yeah. Well, I don't want to say that all that Raids 2 prep went down the drain, because it obviously didn't. We are going to use all the scales. We're going to use all those Dragon Bolts at some point. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to do Raids 2 this week. I did a bunch of Raids 1. Unfortunately, we didn't get any drops, which is kind of bleh. But I'm at 515 Raids KC now. So we almost got through the 4th boss for Raids 2. The only problem is that we just couldn't find a solid group of 5 people. Hopefully next week, more of our friends will be back to their normal schedule, and I'll be able to get into doing Raids 2, which would be really nice because I am really excited for it, and I really do want to be able to get some more attempts in. Yeah, we only managed to get in like 15, 20 attempts, which kind of sucks, and that might sound like a lot, but it's really not a lot compared to a lot of the other people I've been getting. So the only thing I'm mainly worried about, and I don't think this will be a problem, hopefully by the end of next week this will be changed, it kind of seems like T-bow meta right now. I really hope that it's not another just T-bow blowpipe meta area, because I obviously don't have a T-bow, and blowpipe is nowhere near as good as T-bow on some of the bosses in there. So hopefully that's not the case, but I guess we will see what happens with that. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next week with hopefully some Raids 2 completion and maybe even a Raids 2 drop or some Raids 1 solo content. So as always, if you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Check out the links in the description, and I will see you guys again later this week, potentially, for a tips and tricks video for Iron Man. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but I guess we'll figure out which one I'm doing.